Welcome back to the Real AF TV podcast show about fishing random takes from a land of 10,000 lakes. Tim, I just remembered I have a quick story about bait shops that I have to tell, and I'm going to tell it in the random take. Fuck it. We're a fishing podcast after all.
Let's do it.
But in this random take, we are, in case you're listening on a Friday on our off week, which by the way, the Real AF TV podcast is every other week, Monday drop full podcast. And then on our off week on Wednesdays, you will get the fishing topic split out by itself over there on YouTube. And on Fridays over there on YouTube, you will get the random take split out by itself. But I have to tell this before we get into the traveling for a big event situation that we're going to talk about. I have to tell this bait shop, local bait shop. This is a third-party story. I'm not going to give any names or anything like that, but trust me, this is a very close source. I believe everything. And I believe this is why local shops are the dope shit. So he goes to the local shop fairly regularly. Dad does. Dad goes to the local shop fairly regularly, right?
Sure. Yep.
Daughter likes to go fishing with him. Daughter saves up her own money to go buy fishing lures. She goes to the shop. She buys the lures. They go fishing a couple weeks later.
All right.
Bad day fishing. They don't get any fish. She thinks, and we're talking like 5 years to 8 years old, right? We're talking like little kid here. So they have a bad day fishing. They don't bring home any fish. And she is adamant that the next time they go back to the bait shop, she's returning those lures because they don't work. So she's going to bring them back as defective product. Yeah. So she's going to bring them back as defective product. And dad and mom are like, no. Like, that's how fishing works sometimes, like you just don't, it's not every time. It's, it's a process. It happens. They're not defective. It's okay. You don't have to bring them back. Well, next time dad goes to the bait shop, he, don't bring those lures with. It's fine. We'll bring them out on the water again. She sneaks them in, walks up to the guy at the counter and says, I would like to return these. They don't work. He just goes, all right, I will return them. And he just returns them. Dad's been fishing for 20, 30 years since then. Goes to that shop every time just because of that good taste, like that good taste of customer service. You know what I mean?
Like, right. Yep. That's awesome too.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you say no to that?
I know, right?
I guess there are jerks out there that would just be like, all sales are final, but like, I just, I take my losses, or probably not even losses.
Sure.
Probably decent lures where you're just like, I could use a couple of these. Okay. Sure. I get it. I'd probably try to talk some sense into her first. Not trying to be like, no, I don't want to lose a sale, but just to be like, are you sure you want to return these? Because they're probably going to work eventually. Like if they were good lures, like I don't sell garbage, if it's my shop.
Right. Sure.
I don't have trash in here. These will catch fish if you use them in the right situation.
Yep.
But if you want to return them, I'll definitely take them back from you. But I think you should give them another shot. That's what I would have done.
Sure.
I think you should give them another shot. Next time you're out there, try them again. And if they don't work that time, then bring them back.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Yep. I just thought it was such a great story. Like it's just such a good story that I just.
Dude, that is a great story. Yeah.
Like shout out to local shops for that one because that's the only place that's going to happen.
Oh, right. Yeah. You try that at a Walmart. I mean, maybe they're taking back at a Walmart. Some of those big big.
They just take anything.
Have they have some pretty lax policies. Where they're just like, you don't even have a box, and they're like, but I want to return it. And they're like, well,
okay.
Whatever.
We don't even have this in the system. I'll take it. Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's super cool. I mean, they're kids. They're funny.
I know.
It's
great.
There's so many good stories to that when you have good-hearted people with kids. They come up and they say some silly shit, and you just got to be like, all right, my bad. I'm sorry I sold you this. Oh, dang it.
Yep. I know. Yeah. So good. So yeah. Okay. being March, there's a lot to talk about in March, specifically about travel, because of course there's spring break and all this other shit. And again, I want to keep it about events. If we spin off, because that's what we do, because we talk a lot. That sounded so good. But if we spin off, whatever, that's cool. But there's a lot to talk about in March. Obviously, I have to say it specifically. This drops afterwards, but that's not the point. The Bassmaster Classic, like that happens in March, and that's an event, and that's what I want to kick it off with. That, not only us being fishing podcast, but because that's the sort of like event that I'm talking about, right? It's not just that like one-off thing, like, oh, Krispy Kreme is making white chocolate donuts in New Orleans, and you're like, oh, I'm going to New Orleans because there's only a week long. You're like, fuck that. That's not what I'm talking about.
Right, but even still, like, if that's what you're doing, let us hear about that too.
Yeah, for sure, because that would be dope if you're just traveling around the country getting Krispy Kreme donuts because they're like localized 1 week release. That'd be sick. Right. But that's not what I'm trying to talk about here.
Yeah. I'd love to hear that story from anybody's aspect.
For
just
real.
Be like you're a boss at you're a boss at an establishment, and my employee had to take off because of a limited edition Krispy Kreme in Nolans. Just like, really? Interesting.
Okay. Sweet.
Whatever.
But yeah,
man.
I mean, that's exactly it, is because like me and you work full-time jobs, get a limited amount of vacation days. Lately, it's been really fucking rough with everything that's going on in the world, because you're just like burning up these vacation days. So it's making it even harder. So just thinking about it on a broader scope, but also keeping it to the now, and what the fuck is going on. Like, dude, honestly, since we started this podcast, I've been into the Bassmasters and stuff like that. I've been watching it and trying to keep up with fishing more in general. And it would be accurate to say like the Bassmaster Classic is the Super Bowl of like fishing, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I was like, fuck, man, it would be cool. Now, we would obviously come back and talk about it on the podcast, but we wouldn't be covering it like journalism. We're more of a free form podcast than that.
Yeah, for sure.
But it would be so sick
about, like, what we saw and how it, how it's got set up and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, because going down there, I don't know if things are getting back to normal from like after COVID and stuff, but they used to have like it was like a stadium event.
Jesus.
When it's like time for weigh-ins and stuff, your top fisherman is coming in, getting pulled in on his boat, and he's going up to the main stage, and he's bringing in his weight, and he's like, yeah, it's in my motherfucking bass.
Holy shit.
So
they would drive their trucks and their boats into a stadium.
Nah, somebody else would drive their truck and they'd be in their boat, like in their boat. Like,
right. Okay, I've seen wide shots of this. It didn't sink in. It didn't sink in until you're saying this now, and I'm going, oh, that's what I was watching, because it was all like highlight reel shit, because that's not how. Okay. That would be so sick to go to, dude. I would travel for that event.
It would be awesome. And with like-minded people. And they're like waiting, and you're seeing the bass, and you're seeing them hold up these monsters, and they're trying to get the weights, and you're waiting, and they're just like, he needs 14.2 to go to the lead. And then all of a sudden they're just like 14.5, and everybody in the stadium's like, oh God, I can't believe 14.5, man.
Right. It'd be sick, dude.
Yeah, it would be super cool to go to Bassmasters like that. There's so many things I would love to go to that, like, I'm not a fan of in real life, but just would be like stellar to go to any of the different stuff. Like, a NASCAR race. Like,
oh fuck, dude! I never had that one down. Never was in my wheelhouse. But like,
I've never even like thought about watching it on TV. Like, I mean, like, one of those things where they're like, it's the Indy 500, and they're like, they're on lap 498, and I'm like, well, whatever. I'll watch the last 2 laps.
Right.
see if some drama happens here.
Right.
But no, like the just being at the races or like in the pit in the middle would be so dope.
Yeah,
like, I heard that's just like a party.
Right.
Like, you're just at a party.
Sick. Like the Daytona 500, like
you.
the infield of the Daytona 500. I'm in, dude.
Yes.
I do it.
Yes, the infield. Yeah.
I'll just say
so
it.
Dope.
I'm not a NASCAR fan. Not even the slightest.
Yeah.
I used to play the games.
Me neither.
Just not a NASCAR fan. Whatever. Like fishing crowd tends to be NASCAR fan. So what, dude? It doesn't mean that we wouldn't get along. It doesn't mean you can't listen to the podcast. Yeah. I would 100% go to the infield of the Daytona 500, man. That would be so dope.
For sure. I would love to do that. Yeah. And then I'd just be, like, I don't even know who any of the drivers are.
Right.
I'd be like, not to be sexist or whatever. I'd be like some of the girls do it. Would just be like, yeah, number 47. And they're just like, you like 47? I like his car is orange.
Right. Yep.
I like the way his car looks.
Yep. For real. I just like, I don't know. I like that GoDaddy car. It's real green. It's cool.
It's a good looking car, man.
For real. Yep. Just out there just cheering for the car that you like the look on the best because you don't have any idea who it is, but you're still there just enjoying and non-ironically, like it wouldn't be just be like, oh, I'm here to make fun of it, or I hear him like, look at me, I'm at a NASCAR event, how funny is that? It's like, no, I'm literally here to enjoy this fucking what is happening.
Legit. Yeah. I'm
just because I don't know what's going on.
Might piss some people off. You're a bandwagon fan.
Right.
No, I came here to have fun, and I decided to choose one of these cars. Because I'm not. Right.
Because you got to pick one you're here.
He's the best. That's why his car looks so good. Well, that's why I'm choosing him, is because his car looks good.
Right.
I guess when you're good, you get the coolest looking car, and I'm rooting for the cool car. I don't know who the driver is. I can't see him.
No idea who that is. Right. Can't see him from the infield anyway. Give me another beer. God damn it.
Right. Just by the end of the race, you're just watching the different color blurs. Like, green's getting hard to look at, man. It's hard to see. I'm switching teams here. I want the blue. I can see the blue pretty good.
Right. I'm gonna go with that darker blue color. It's less hard on my eyes at this point.
Right.
Oh fuck. Yeah, man, that's a really good one. I never even thought about it because that brings me to the Indy 500. I would totally do the Indy. I did a book report in middle school, maybe even elementary school. Mario Andretti, of course. Not the it's me. Not that Mario.
Right. Mario. Oh.
Mario. Hey. Shit, you have a Mario shirt on too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Mario Andretti, I did it. What?
I said, didn't even try that.
Oh yeah, I know. We just showed up. This is just who we are. I would totally love the Indy. I mean, it's not, the Indy 500, Daytona 500, different cars, whatever, same circle. And whatever.
Yeah.
Race fans, don't at me on that. Same circle, fucking different cars. But like,
I think Indy would be cooler.
It was cool. I think Indy would be way cooler because they're faster and more aerodynamic, and there's a lot more that goes into it. Anyway,
sound cooler. Yeah.
The just to go to Indy, to be on the infield of Indy would be super cool to me, knowing the like history behind that. They call it the Brickyard. They still have some of the original brick on the start and finish line. Like, okay. I just think like there would be that extra historical element to me because I sort of did the research and it's still I still remember it, which is super dope to me. So like I'd have an extra layer to it, I guess.
Yeah, that would be super cool, man. Yeah, that and like so many other sporting events. I would love to travel to like any other area to like. It'd be cool to be the away team. Especially being the Timberwolves, because nobody's gonna give you shit. Like I feel like that's one where we can get away with it.
Yeah,
I could be a Timberwolves fan anywhere, and just be like, "Go Wolves," and people would be like, what? You like the Timberwolves? They'd be like, yeah, from Minnesota. They'd be like, oh, okay, cool. But like a Philadelphia fan, Philadelphia fans are like going to the different places and they're just like, go 76ers. Or probably they just say, go Sixers. Go Sixers.
Right.
And everybody's just like, fuck you, get off our town, Philly.
Right. And that's actually, that's a really good point. You're bringing up something I didn't think about again, and that is, I've always thought it would be really cool to go to, for me specifically, a Doomtree show in a different city because they sell out First Ave here. And I would love to go to like a Doomtree show that didn't even sell out at all, but it's got a decent crowd in like Denver or something like that. Like music, to even take it to a different, like Lollapalooza. We have local music acts that have played Lollapalooza, and it's like to go to Chicago and be the away team, dude. Yeah, for sure. I've thought about that, which is that's not even an event in the grand scheme of what I was talking about, but for you personally, it is an event, and that's what makes it sick. So I'm right there with you, dude. That is so awesome.
Yeah.
What a good idea.
Yeah. And if you could get like I had a friend that kind of hit double in Cali.
Really?
Where they went out and saw the one, I can't remember which day was what, but they went and saw one day where it was the Vikings playing the Chargers.
Nice.
And then the next day they watched the Timberwolves play the Clippers.
No way, dude.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Oh, dude, I'm so jealous. Like I would love to set up, like, know that both teams are going to be
in the same area at the same time.
Yeah. And you're just like, I'm going to see both my teams.
Yeah, dude. And again, not the like bigger event, but like for it's a professional event, and because that's not an Indy 500 moment, but for you, or like for your friend personally, that's kind of an Indy 500 moment, right?
Right, for sure. Yeah, like those,
sick.
Those are my teams to be able to see both in an away situation in a different state. I've never been to California, so that'd be cool too.
Right.
So like anything going to California would just be dope.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, another, like, this is, I don't know if this really counts, but so I think I've referenced them here before, but Bad Magic Productions.
Okay.
So that is Dan Cummins. He's a stand-up comic.
Yep.
He's got 3 podcasts, and they're all under the same umbrella. There's Time Suck, which is just him.
Yep.
Doing all sorts of stuff.
Yep.
There's Is We Dumb?
Yep.
Which is him and the Reverend Dr. Joe Paisley.
Is he really a reverend?
No.
And a doctor?
He's not a doctor either. No.
Yeah.
No.
He's like a metal singer or something like that, or used to be a metal singer or something like that.
Yeah. I think he did used to do metal, and then he was like on the radio, and now he doesn't like do any of that stuff. But those 2 guys are super funny, and that one's just like a super funny podcast that they always start off with like a would you rather, just kind of thing, and that's how they get it kicked off, and then it's just a fun stuff. They talk about them being dumb and everything, whatever, and
they just talk about dumb shit from the internet. And then is this the scary one? Is this what he does? The scary shit,
and then
with
the other
wife?
one's a scary one. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Scared to death with his wife.
Yeah.
So
why the production company in general? Like, because they got 3 podcasts, but they have Bad Magic in general. So what's that?
Bad Magic is what they just call like their production company. It's all Bad Magic Production.
Okay.
Under the same umbrella. So all 3 of those shows, I don't know if they're doing a Time Suck live, but they're doing the other 2 live.
Sweet.
In Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, where they live, with what they are calling the Wet Hot Bad Magic summer camp. So they are having an actual, like, an adult summer camp where they're renting out like a Boy Scout. Yeah, they're renting out a Boy Scout like place.
No way.
And they're gonna have like swimming, and there's gonna be like food vendors, and like
No
different stuff that
way,
you would do at
dude.
a summer camp, but then they're
Like
gonna
the
have
blob is gonna be there.
yeah, dude,
Just
they're
a
gonna
bunch of
do
drunk
stuff like
30 and
that.
40-year-olds fucking doing the
Yes,
blob.
it's a summer camp for adults, and they're gonna have a live Is We Dumb for sure. And then when it gets to night, because it's like a summer camp thing, they're gonna have live Scared to Death because it's like here's our live ghost stories.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude, I want to go to that so
Dude,
bad.
that's an event. That is an event to travel
Yes,
for. That is so sick, dude.
yeah. So
Oh my god, that would be
if
so
you
much
that
fun.
sounds fun to you, maybe like check out their podcasts and get into that stuff. Because if you just go to summer camp, you're gonna feel awkward if you don't get all the references. Because there's gonna be a lot of references thrown around, and you're not gonna understand anything. You're just gonna be
Sure, the
walking
inside
around, and all of a
jokes of
sudden,
the
yeah, all of a sudden you'll just hear somebody go peanut butter. That's how they do it in showbiz, and you're just gonna be like, "What the fuck was that?"
what
And just be
the
like,
fuck?
You gotta go watch a show, man. You gotta go
You
listen
gotta
to
get
it,
it. You gotta get in. You gotta get in there.
right?
Oh my god, dude, that is so sweet. I dabble in them because of you, and so
Okay.
I know what you're talking about. Obviously, I called the third one right. But
Yeah.
what a fucking perfect scenario they have thought of,
Yeah,
and
dude.
like, oh my god, good for them. Good on Bad Magic and their creative team for coming up with that idea.
Yes,
It's so
for
perfect. Like
sure.
that is something people will travel for and just
Mhm.
talk about. So like they're gonna talk about that for years. It's gonna be so sick.
Yes, yep. And I think they're trying to make it like an annual thing. I think they wanted to do it last year, but COVID got in the way, and now
Mhm,
they're just
mhm.
like, "Here we go.
Right.
Let's do this
Yeah,
thing." Yeah.
dude.
So, yeah,
So
it
sweet.
sounds so dope to just be like summer camp in general is cool. But then a summer camp with like-minded people,
Right.
just like
Yep. Mhm.
you're
Like
going to
we're
be
all here
going to
for the
some
one thing.
place.
We all know why we're here. Like you already have a
Right.
talking point. So like there's no social awkwardness because we're all here with a talking point.
Right. Yeah. And everybody's on the same page like
Yep.
we're all you know that none of us are easily offended. If you listen to any of their stuff,
Right.
like
Yep. Yep.
right off the bat, we're not going into like people that are just be like, I don't like to swear words. Like you came to the wrong fucking place.
Right, right.
So yeah, it's just that sounds super cool. So that's one that I thought of, you know, th-
Right.
that's a little bit outside the box besides everybody's, the the standard stuff, like going to the
Yeah.
Super Bowl would be dope, but like who's got the money for that?
Right. Yeah. Well, and the big thing, like again, back to the March thing is Mardi Gras. Like Mardi Gras
Oh
goes on
yeah.
in March. And it's like, yeah. So have you ever thought about traveling for Mardi Gras, going to Mardi Gras or anything like that? I've been to New Orleans before. It's dope. But I'll tell you this right now. I've never really thought about going to Mardi Gras.
I've never really thought about going to Mardi Gras either because like I enjoy the colors and it's like the idea of it is cool, but
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know.
But I don't know if I want to be in it. I don't know if I want to be there like
No.
in it. Like it's too much,
I've
I think.
Yeah, like I mean, you may be able to speak to this, but like I've heard that New Orleans can kind of be a shit show sometimes, and then they're
Mhm.
just like, "We'd like to turn this shit show up to 11." And it's like, oh, I don't know if I want to be part of that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong there. I can't say that that is anything because we mostly went out during the day. We're just we're day walkers, I guess. For the most part. When we went out, but you're 100% right because you get out early enough to go like get an early lunch. You can smell that last night happened. You know what I mean?
Right? Yeah, I get you.
And
That's what
that
I've
was just
heard
on,
about New
and that was
Orleans.
just like on a Tuesday in October.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that's
Y'all
part
get a
of it.
little etouffee.
So
Just like,
yeah, and that made me think of like international stuff too, like Carnival, which is seems to have a lot in relation with it. And I think
yeah, I think.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought it was like almost the same shit. It looks the
It
same.
looks really similar.
That's
Like
for sure.
Carnival
I
just
guess
seems
I've
like
never really.
a bigger, bigger in the sense of like
Yeah.
the floats are bigger and the costumes are bigger, but they all seem sort of the same style. And that's just that's our outside perspective, right? Like we're not
Right.
Brazilian and we're not
That's what's going.
Louisianan.
That's what's going on in Rio, right? Like in the movie.
Oh
You seen
yeah,
Rio?
yeah, in the movie Rio, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they're
Carnival,
dancing around. Yeah, they got way big floats, but
yeah, and
yeah, maybe
costumes
that's
like
just like
crazy heavy
that's probably
costumes.
yeah,
right here.
yeah. I think that is like New Orleans just isn't the same size as city. So you have Mardi Gras, but it's not quite the same because I feel like
Mm-hmm.
Carnival is almost like the Thanksgiving Day parade, where it's just
Right.
a massive city. You know,
Yep.
it's just way bigger.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, just listened to a podcast about the Thanksgiving Day parade today because I'm
Really?
behind on that podcast, and I've been shuffling between the backlog and the current ones, and that was actually one that came up because the person who was talking about it was like, that the day before the parade, it's kind of like a loosey goosey inflation day where you can just kind of walk around and watch them be blown up, and it's super cool if you have kids. And I was like, whoa, yeah, I never thought about that, but how sick would that be, like to bring your kids to watch like a giant Snoopy being blown up?
For real. Plus, I really like the sound of that. Like that should be the day everybody's excited to go to. Kids, wake up! It's loosey goosey inflation day.
That's the name of it, loosey goosey inflation day.
It's gonna be wild.
It's gonna be wacky whaling, inflatable arm flailing tube man day.
They're gonna go from like flat to like it's gonna be
because
dude, speaking of New York too,
yeah.
My my wife would love to go to just ironically, like I'm about to talk about her and she comes walking around the corner. What the fuck?
What?
But my wife would love to go to the New Year's in New York City.
I had that on my list of things to talk about. Yeah? Really?
Yeah. Yep.
I'm surprised because your wife's not like a huge partier.
Here,
so I'm
here
surprised
live, I'd like to say surprise. We're not gonna go.
I'm talking to her.
I will wear an adult diaper.
You will. She said she will wear an adult diaper. Have you heard about that? That's what they actually say, that like once you get down there, like you can't leave because you will lose your spot. So a lot of people legitimately go down there early and wear adult diapers, and then
and
just,
here
like,
on the
shit
podcast,
themselves.
Your wife just said, we're going and I'm putting on a diaper.
My wife said I am comfortable in sitting in my own feces for a chance to be part of Ryan and Seacrest's. Oh, she'll shit on the street and pee herself. She's not gonna sit in her own poop.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
my mistake. Yeah, she's not an animal. She's a classy lady.
Lady in the streets.
Lady in the streets. But then the lady also in the sheets. Come on, lady. Sorry, I'm making fun of her now. But yes, no, definitely like a dream of hers to go down there and see the big Christmas tree and
because you could do that still before New Year's Eve. It's still up, so you could do both.
Oh yeah, she wants to do the whole thing. Just like put a whole, like be down there for the whole thing. Like go down there for Christmas to New Year's.
Oh, from
what?
Yeah.
Thanksgiving?
Macy's Day Parade.
Yeah, we already talked about the parade. You weren't here for that.
But I want to be there for all of it.
This is a podcast that doesn't involve you. What are you doing?
We can hear though. We can hear.
I know.
Edit this out.
No. Yeah, we could edit it out, but we're not gonna. It's staying in.
Oh yeah, for sure. This is good.
You're the off-camera star of this podcast. But yeah, we're not going there from Thanksgiving to New Year's.
That's a long time.
If you win the lottery, we'll do it. Which is never gonna happen because she's never bought a ticket. So.
Wow, that's cool though. I agree. I'd like to see the the parade, but I just never thought about going down and seeing like the balloons inflated and stuff like that. So like to think about being,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess that's a whole event down there from Thanksgiving Day all the way through New Year's Eve. Like it's like a party in New York.
Yeah,
Wow.
she'd be so pumped to do that, and I
Nice.
would say like let's do it, but like New York is expensive.
I know, that's what I was gonna say. Is like that'd be over a month in New York. I mean, that's like 3 months of mortgage out here.
Yeah. Also, like being from Minnesota, like you hear everybody talk about the Minnesota nice, and then
Yeah.
you hear about like how bad New York can be sometimes.
Right.
I don't know. We might get down there and like the idea of it's good until like 2 weeks in, we're not to Christmas yet, and just can't take it anymore.
You're like, I fucking fly home. I can't take it anymore.
Hey, welcome to New York.
Yep.
Just
I'm walking in, and you're like,
we've been mugged, and nobody says hi to anybody.
right.
You're just like, it's the holiday season. They're just like, yeah, I didn't spit on your shoes.
You're
What
welcome.
are you looking for? You're welcome.
That's crazy.
Most of the people, they buy a slice of pizza and I slap it in their face. I let you eat yours.
Hey,
and you're just
being
like,
a nice
this is the holiday season here. Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah, I didn't know that about your wife. I didn't know that she was like that into that. She would like to do that. That's cool though.
Oh,
because those are totally the
yes.
events that I'm talking about. Is like, would you? You're like, yeah, if we had the
Yep.
money, I guess we'd have
Right.
to.
Yep. I think part of it's because Hallmark movies have made it like glamorized it. Then we're gonna get there and it's gonna be like you just see like the surface of it and you're just like, it's so beautiful. And then there's like homeless people like screaming shit next to you. You're like, oh Jesus. This is not
or an
how I
angry
pictured
pizza guy
this.
just throwing the pizza at you. Get the fuck out of here.
Right.
Right. The shit the Hallmark doesn't show you.
Right. You got the wet bandits are out there.
Oh, that's so good. So the like other things that I wanted to ask you about is because we talked about a little bit in our last episode about the sports icon thing with the do you want
So sorry. She just said she just had to go good night, Dream Crusher. Sorry. Good night. I didn't crush your dreams. I just said start playing the lottery.
I just said
Yeah, we were just talking about some homeless people. Navy boys.
Have like Navy men stuff up there.
Oh, Navy men. I don't know. She said she said she'll have to kiss a stranger. And then she said maybe one of those Navy boys. And I was like, Navy boys? And then she said seamen. Started laughing. Oh man. That was a pretty good joke. Maybe I'll bring you to one of them. We're not staying there for the whole
thing. Just facts. We're not staying there for a month.
Facts. Huh?
Fishing.
What about fishing?
It's a fishing podcast.
Yeah, it's a fishing podcast. This is the random take.
Random minutes.
You just said fishing. Okay. This thing.
She must be a frequent listener. She must be the one.
Yeah, you're a frequent listener. You know what it's about. Fishing.
Oh, this is so good. I love it.
She's saying that you have a number one fan. She's laughing pretty hard.
We can hear enough.
I look like I'm stoned?
Yeah.
I've been drinking tequila a little bit. I put it in my body armor. Been drinking tequila. 'cause
I
know something
regularly
good.
carry around tequila in my body armor too.
Oh, it's not new. Yeah. Over getting here,
I'm over here just
another
stuffing
new
bottles
bottle?
in my flak vest.
Oh yes.
Okay. So last episode 39, we talked about like the extreme. We talked about the sports icons and the extreme sports and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, I'm kind of crazy. Like that comment came out, and I was just like, oh yeah, like Jackass Forever just came out, and Johnny Knoxville's been talking a lot about his infatuation with bulls, and that's the one event that I put down on my list of things to talk about is like Spain's running with the bulls.
Oh yeah, running
Spain's
with the bulls
cool,
would be
good food. Like, would you travel there for the running of the bulls? Would you go there to participate in the running of the bulls? Right now, today, or whenever it is this year.
Nah, I'm not in good enough shape.
Yeah, I wouldn't fucking do it either, dude. I think there's too much on the line. Like, ask me 10 years ago, I'd have a different answer. I bet you.
Right. That's a good point. Having a kid, it's like a different story. If it was just because, because it's not just having a kid, it's being able to provide for the family.
Sure.
If I were to get injured, I would I think dying is pretty low odds, even though it's
for sure. Yeah.
And I think I'd be able to I don't know. I think I'd be one of those guys that'd try to be tough. And then as soon as the running of the bulls start, I'd be the one that's just flying by everybody.
Or clinging to the fence immediately, just just latching on, letting the bulls run by.
Fence immediately. I'd just be flying past everybody else, just juking dudes,
knocking people down to get them out of the way.
Just stiff arming people. I'd make it through the course safely, but it wouldn't immediately run to the fence because I wouldn't be one of those guys that's kind of tempting stuff until the bull picks up speed. And then I got to jump the fence.
Right.
I'd just be hauling ass.
Right.
As soon as I'd just be kind of standing there anxiously. And as soon as they open the gates, and then just going, make it all to the stadium and run into the stadium and just be
right.
Done it.
Right. It would the feeling, because I know that you have that, where that that level of achievement would just give you the fucking highest to high. You would feel fucking awesome if you did that. If you got to the stadium and you jumped to safety and you were fucking did it. You would feel awesome.
Right. And I'm a pretty big dude too. So I'm not too nervous of getting really hurt from a certain size of bull, if there was a Ferdinand looking motherfucker in that stadium, once we were in the stadium, for sure I'm not trying anything.
Right.
But if one comes in and it doesn't have gnarly looking horns, or kind of out to the side, and I'm not
instead of forward
of getting hit, I might try juking one if I was in the
for
stadium.
Personal achievement.
I might be just because I'm pretty confident in my ability to juke something.
Right.
So if I watch somebody else juke it and it falls for it, and I'm okay, this bull will bite.
Right.
I can I can get him. I might try but it really depends on the circumstances. And I kind of got to see somebody else do it probably too before I do
the
it.
calculated risk factor, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
it's just be okay, he got away with it. This bull seems a little bit slow. The horns don't look like they would jab me even if I screw up too bad.
Right.
If I take a bull's head to the chest, I'm gonna be okay. But if it's a fucking spike coming right at me and he decides to lift up and I get caught under the chin, I'm not playing those odds at all. I don't care if he looks like he's stupid and other people juke him. I'm not messing with that bull.
Right. Yeah, exactly. and just like you said, the provider thing now is ask me 10 years ago, ask me 15 years ago, I probably have a different answer for you. Not only was I younger and in better shape, but the fact that the sense of achievement you would get out of it would still be awesome and so much fun to try to do. And it would be great, but to think about the fact that like, well, I got to take a week of vacation and then I'm going to go do this thing that'll probably really fuck me up. And like, yeah, if I break a leg, how am I going to be able to do my job when I get back? Probably not. I drive a clutch. Like, like for me, I'd try to stiff arm myself up and out of the way, fucking break a wrist.
Right.
It's like, how do I type now? Like my fucking arm is
Yep.
in a cast from fingertips to shoulder. It's like, I can't work like that.
Dude, that's one thing that like I got a little bit more not serious like I was gonna ever try to be, like pro or anything, but I got more serious about snowboarding like when I got like season pass and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Later in life when I already had like a house and stuff, and I knew that I needed to like keep making payments because of the things I had.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of what stopped me from like trying to hit rails and stuff.
Sure.
Because I'm like, if I eat shit and break my arm, like I do physical labor for a living. And it was a different job back then, but like pretty much everything that I've ever done has been like physical labor. And I'm like, if I break anything, I am fucked. Like, what do I do for a living?
Right.
So like I can go snowboarding and stuff, but I'm not trying to do any of like the super gnarly stuff because I could get hurt bad. Like, you know, again, calculated risk. There's some stuff
for
that
sure.
I'll try, but
but at the same time, it's like I mean, me, I don't want to go to the running of the bulls if I'm not going to be in it. I just don't get any enjoyment out of watching it. 'Cause I've seen it. I've watched it on TV. I've watched people get fucking railed by bulls at running of the bulls. I just don't find any fun without the adrenaline because it's just people getting fucked up by bulls. Who cares? If I was going there for the adrenaline rush, totally different story.
Yep.
And,
dude, so I just...
Oh,
Go ahead. You had something else to say?
Oh, no, I was going to switch topics off the bulls, and I feel like you're going to stay on it. I want to.
Oh, not on the bulls, but because you started talking about Spain. I didn't even think about it till you said Spain, but there's another one that I've always wanted to go to in Spain, and it's called La Tomatina. And it is the world's biggest food fight, bro. You ever see where they throw all the tomatoes?
Yes,
I'd love to go to that.
I forgot about that. So I thought about the Indian one and I couldn't look it up where they start throwing like colored powder at everybody. That's somewhere in India.
What?
Oh yeah. I didn't look it up, so we can't talk about it.
That sounds dope too.
It's super sick. Everybody looks cool.
Sound cool too.
Yeah. But dude, that's a reason to go to Spain. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. I would partake in that for sure.
Oh yeah, me too.
Everybody just chucking tomatoes, just like, yeah.
What a good reason to go to Spain.
My white tea.
Hell yeah, dude.
That sounds like a blast.
Yes, it does. Like it's food. It's rot. In most cases, probably even rotten food, where it's just like it's a tomato and it hits you and just.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it could be rotten food. I don't know. They gotta. Some of them for sure. It seems like an awful lot of tomatoes to have everybody throw. If they're, like,
okay,
brand new
you make
ripe.
a good point. But how bad
Like,
can a tomato really hurt? Like, it's a crowd of people.
Yeah.
How far could it come from? Even right? It's not like they're throwing it 30
you probably
feet.
get excited when you get hit by the rotten one. Just like you're like, oh, good. That one wasn't fresh.
I'd still do it, dude. Sounds awesome.
For sure.
I
dude,
totally
I don't
forgot
care.
about
Like
that
if
thing.
they're just like they're all rotten tomatoes, I'm in. Let's do it. Just keep my mouth shut.
Right. Yeah. Because gross. I don't even want to think about mold and shit. Anyways. Yeah. I forgot about that. I've definitely seen a video and footage. It totally slipped my mind because I just thought about the bulls.
Yeah,
I didn't realize it was Spain
until
either.
You said Spain, and then I was like, "Oh yeah,
yeah."
I think it's almost like the same streets, dude. I might be wrong.
Probably.
But like, the cities, it's probably like very similar. Observed by I don't know how you say that.
Spanish.
It's got one of those little weird things over the end.
Right. Yeah.
Bunol, Valencia, Spain. Bunol, Valencia, Spain.
Sure. Still, how great. I'm so glad that you thought of that, because that's seriously, that looks so fun. I've definitely seen video of it. I just didn't put the two together.
Pamplona.
What?
Sorry, they are not the same city. I for sure know Pamplona is the destination of the Bulls.
Of the Bulls. That's
because
like
that's where like the legit stadium is.
Right. Yep.
And that other one is held in a different area altogether.
Sure. But still.
Oh, and those are in August.
They're both in August, huh?
Are they?
No, is that what you just said? They're both in August?
Oh, no, sorry. No.
Oh.
That one is in August. I don't know when the running of the Bulls was.
Yeah.
The tomatoes is in August, which I suppose is when it's time to pick tomatoes.
I was going to say probably harvest time. Yeah, that's probably.
Still sounds fun, but late August if it's hot in Spain.
Yeah, I'm not sure because they have so much coast. Like you know how it gets when you get towards the coastline of anywhere, really. The ocean helps regulate that temperature. So
looks like in 2022 it's in July. It says 7th through the 14th. That's a whole week?
Holy shit, dude. Wow. Obviously, they can't have the food fight for 7 days. That must be one out of the 7 days.
Oh, no, sorry. I keep not prefacing like what I'm looking into. That's the running of the Bulls.
Oh. Well, they're not running the Bulls 7 days a week either.
That's why I'm like, there must be some sort of a like extra stuff that happens for the first 7 days.
Yeah, which is like kind of the whole. That's what I'm talking about too, about traveling for these events. Is just like there's always the big thing that you go for, but obviously you would go for other reasons. But like, would this big event be enough for you to motivate, to go for a week or 5 days or 3 or whatever? You know what I mean? It's not like you're going to fly down there for 3 hours and fly back or anything like that.
Right. Yeah. No, like, I mean, I'm definitely like trying to set up other stuff to go do other stuff.
Right.
But at the same
But the main motivator, right?
Then
that's that's the thing.
The main motivator is to go be part of that.
Right.
But some of that stuff, like, it depends on how much I want to do something,
Oh, yeah.
Like going to do that tomato thing is like super dope. Definitely would love to do it.
Yeah.
But going to Spain would be cool too.
Right.
And then it's like, am I going to be able to do anything else?
Right.
Or is it going to be just so damn busy
that you end up with the yeah, for sure. So
this is
nope. Go ahead. Go.
Random. I was just gonna say like an attainable one was I would love to go to the NFL draft when they have like I think this year it's in Vegas. That would be dope.
Yeah, I didn't
because that's not gonna draw a huge crowd,
right?
So you have like the NFL draft plus you're in Vegas,
right?
Like, that would be super cool.
Yeah. Like that event draws you to the city, and that's exactly the perfect example of what I'm talking about. Is because it's just the thing that draws you in, and then you do something else, and that is you're right. That's the perfect example because it's mellow in the grand scheme of things. It's not the Super Bowl, but it's definitely a big enough event to motivate you to buy tickets, to get the hotel. And get you to that location. Yeah. No, sick.
Yep.
Sick.
Well, plus the location, like
for sure.
Because it's like you're in Vegas too,
Right.
Where they're just like the NFL draft is going to be held in Cincinnati. I'd be like, nah, like, I'll watch it on TV.
Right. For sure. So, have you actually ever been motivated enough to have that happen? Like, have you actually done it?
So like I missed it by a week once on accident.
Yeah,
we went to Chicago, and it was in Chicago, and it was like they're setting up for it and stuff. So even that was cool. Where I'm just like, oh, there's like signs everywhere talking about the NFL draft, and I can see where they're set up, and like all that's super cool. But that was like for my 30th birthday.
Yeah,
Just
so
like,
you
I
went
didn't know what to
somewhere
do.
motivated by like a personal event, and you were just like, well, let's get out of the town, and you just picked a city or whatever, right?
Yeah, it wasn't
for the draft specifically.
Right. No, it was just like a long weekend. It was like, take off a Friday or whatever from
Right.
work, and then
Yep.
just be like, Chicago's within driving distance.
Right.
We'll just drive there in a day, hang out, drive back.
Yep.
That's all it was.
Right.
So no, never been like really motivated to go do anything really.
Yeah,
Like,
we've never been.
I
We've
mean,
never pushed
I'm motivated,
it either.
but never actually like act on any of it.
Went through it. Yeah, for sure. Yep. I mean, just like the draft thing in Vegas, right? Like you're motivated to get to a certain point, but then do you actually act on it? Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm asking. Is like, have you ever been pushed to the point where the event has been the thing to push you? Because we did it in New Orleans, sort of on accident. We knew that that Halloween was a big deal down there, and that it was sort of like kind of October, sort of always.
Hell yeah.
Halloween in New Orleans.
Right.
It's just like all of October is Halloween. So we did go down on that motivation, just knowing that October was a good time for us to travel personally with, vacations and work and whatever. But we didn't go down on Halloween. We went like the weekend before Halloween or whatever the case was. Like it still wasn't Halloween. So I can't claim that was the event that made us go,
Did you hear any ghost stories when you're down there?
No.
Because of that? No.
We got some floats.
They got some.
What's that?
They got some.
Oh, New Orleans is super like haunted or whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Like there's voodoo stuff. So we saw a lot of the kind of voodoo culture, just that penetrates the city. We didn't do anything specific. We did some driving around to see their cemeteries, because their cemeteries all have to be above ground because all the groundwater, like they're literally under, like they're at -10 feet elevation.
Right.
So all of it. So we drove around and we saw some of those. We saw a parade, maybe two. The town's already decked out for Halloween. So like, it was all kind of there, but we knew there was more coming. We were in like the pre-terms, and we didn't go down for the Halloween weekend and shit like that. So I don't have one either. I don't have that. Like,
that sounds super cool though. I would like to go down there because I'm
it was sick.
Like we've talked about it before on here, like serial killer stuff is intriguing to me, and the ghost stories. And New Orleans has a very famous one.
I didn't know.
Axeman of New Orleans.
Oh,
never caught, but he's got kind of a fun folklore where he wanted to hear everybody play jazz, and he was like, "Everybody plays jazz at this time, or I'm killing people." And nobody knew who he was. He was just like leaving like cryptic messages out there. So like, it's like, whatever, 2:00 in the morning, and everybody's in their house is like,
really?
He's like, hell yeah, jazz is going on tonight.
Oh wow, that's crazy, dude.
I know, right?
That's really crazy. Wow.
Yep.
I'd join you on an adventure like that. I don't like all that ghost stories and shit, but what a good reason to go back to New Orleans, like, and experience some of that culture. It'd be fucking cool.
Right. It's like super fun, but like has this weird dark undertones.
Right.
It was like, everybody's so happy to be playing jazz. Just because they don't want to get murdered.
It's because they don't want to die. What? You're like, just fade out. What the fuck? Oh shit. All right, man. Well, we've done enough. We could go on. I think we could go on for a while. I have like 3 events on the notes that we haven't even talked about, but that's okay because, hey, we tend to do 2 hours. And if you don't like that, go over to realaf.tv/contact and let us know. If we're dragging this shit on too long, me and Tim can talk about anything. In fact, tune in for episode 41, where me and Tim are going to talk about tampons in the random take.
Yeah, there's so many different kinds. I mean, let's get into it right now.
Okay.
There are, you know. Just
look us up. It's Real AF TV, the Real Like Fish and Real. We're on Instagram. We are on Facebook. We're on YouTube. Please go over to YouTube and give us the like and subscribe and all that other shit. And give us the reviews on iTunes and Spotify. And you know how it works. Thanks for listening. Tim, what did I miss?
heavy flow.
Light days. I don't know. Amy Schumer.